What do you see?
I think that I'm always pushed to be at my most creative and inventive with the work that we conduct. I can see in real time the transformative effect that music has on people that we are lucky enough to work with.
It's working with the prisoners, with the guys. They are really fantastic. They value it so much. And I think one of the best things about it is it really helps, it gives prisoners a safe place to be where they can be themselves and they can learn to be part of a team, and it's fantastic for self-confidence.
The best thing about working for Irene Taylor Trust has been being able to be in the same prison for such a long time, see how people can start from not having played an instrument before to doing their first performance. And yeah, it just feels like a real privilege to be able to be alongside the men as they do that.
The Trust inherently know the value of music. It's such a powerful tool, it has so many things going on, and so many good things about it, all in one package and all at the same time. And it's great to work for an organisation that understands the value of that.
The best thing about working on the projects is that I don't feel like I'm working on them. I don't feel like I'm leading them. I feel like I'm a participant. But it really is just a collaborative project. It's just humans coming together to share a passion, to share their music.
It's just such a huge privilege and honour to work with everyone and to make music. It's just so much fun, and I cannot believe that it's my job.
What I love about the Irene Taylor Trust is the culture that surrounds it, which is with trust and respect and just openness to explore.
The variety of people that you get to meet and the different skill levels they will bring. Some are far better musicians than yourself and some need a little bit more help, but at the end of it, no matter how you start, it always kind of ends in the same place. It ends with everybody coming together to make music together. That always sounds really great.
We both, I think it's the same track. Yeah, it's a song about ice cream wars in Glasgow, and the end of the chorus goes, "The ice cream wars has just begun." And I think you were vocalist, and I think I was on drums. Vocal. And we were both just like going for it, maybe more so than the other participants. Yeah, good though. It's a banger.
So during these projects, the team is everything.
The team are amazing. Couldn't do this without them.
It's just great to have lots of different insights and skills in the room, so that if you find yourself like not sure where to go or what to do next, someone else might be able to take over and you can kind of bounce your ideas off each other.
If I'm going to compare this team to any football team, I'd say that we've got, quite a strong defence. We've got a very, very good midfield, and I think we have one or two really expensive strikers.
Amazing musicians and beautiful, gentle, compassionate people that I work alongside. I actually can't say enough about them. They're people that I love dearly, and I'm so honoured and happy to be working with them.
I'm going to choose a track called Drive. I think it's one of the best pop songs ever written.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, we've stayed in a few nice places, a lot of dodgy places over the years. One that springs to mind was this house in the middle of nowhere in Norfolk. I don't think there are other humans for miles around. It was pretty eerie, to say the least. Although we did have a sauna.
Definitely these creepy, well, they were explained on Airbnb as like magical huts. So we were very excited, and they were like, I felt like I was living in a horror film.
A place called The Lodge, and it basically was a group of these little wooden cabins which looked like kind of vertical triangle roofs that had just been chopped off of houses and planted into the ground. There was no space for standing up in my room, but it was so memorable and I really enjoyed it.
The place that I stayed in on this occasion wasn't that strange, but it was in a kind of like very beautiful, idyllic part of England, and we couldn't really park the van anywhere because we had to keep moving it, because every morning we'd go out to the van and there'd be a note from somebody tucked into the windscreen wiper saying, please don't park your van here. So we spent the week trying different locations in this village, and I was like, where can you park in Suffolk?
Strangest place I've stayed during a project would be Milton Keynes as a whole.
I did not expect to be breaking my ankle. Cheers.
Making backing tracks of songs from Chicago for a friend.
I didn't expect that the project team would make the Musical Consequences tracks and our album. Often on projects we get asked, like, are we part of a band? So it's actually been really nice to make music with everyone.
During the lockdown, it was fantastic to be playing Musical Consequences, to be making something creative with the rest of the team. That was wonderful.
Well, do you know what? When lockdown started, I think, like a lot of people, I thought I'd get some things done in the house, some DIY. It's not turned out that way. But I did build a water feature in the garden. It doesn't work, but it looks nice.
I don't have a favourite track in particular, but one of my favourite set of songs are the Lullaby Project songs, just because they're just so heartfelt and they're written and performed with such meaning. It's just a really, really warm project.
Daddy's missing you, like losing a heartbeat.
The Owen Taylor Trust did this fantastic project with Kestrel Theatre Company and put on a pantomime. The band did intermittent music for the scenes, and there was this really kind of sad scene where one of the guys, great musician actually, who was a participant, was meant to do some like emotional, kind of just some emotional piano music in the background. But he got so engrossed in the performance, he was like leant forward, just so engrossed, and we were like, psst, psst, you're meant to be playing.
So a few years ago I was working with a guy who was a rapper. He was pretty high risk, he was on antidepressants, was self-harming and was a suicide risk. He had the opportunity to go on to be part of a project, and I saw him a few weeks later when he came back off this, and he was just overjoyed. And one of the things he said to the other guys in the room, and he said it to me directly in various ways, was that was the best week of my life.
I seem to do most of my projects in the middle of winter. Right at the heart of all that sort of icy concrete and metal was this incredibly warm, incredibly funny, so much joy, and lots of sadness too. It was a miracle that's been going for a quarter of a century. So hats off.
The gig that comes to mind for me is at a project when there was one member of the group who wasn't very engaged, didn't really want to join in, but during the process he wrote this song and it was like a real banger, crowd pleaser. But sadly on the morning of the gig we were told that he couldn't come and perform it, and everyone was really disappointed and like a bit deflated, and it just seemed like a massive shame. And then about 2 minutes before the gig started he came like running in, everyone cheered, and then we performed this song and it was just, it was brilliant. And he said that it was the first time in like 20 years that he'd felt any sort of joy, and it was just really amazing seeing that kind of transformation.
I was with Charles Stewart and Rob Willson recently, and it was Charles's birthday, and for his birthday I put petrol in the diesel van, and we had to spend a long time waiting for the auto repair to come.
How can I?
And a really kind of
for to.
Kind of, I think most of the project team are about seeing where the gaps are and filling those gaps. So I've found myself in some quite random situations. Might be sharing a drum kit with somebody. Maybe I'll be playing the hi-hat and the crash cymbal, or maybe I might be playing the kick and the snare, or maybe I might be playing a right-hand keyboard part and a left-hand keyboard part on different keyboards at the same time. Very, very rarely I'd end up on vocals, but it has happened before. Backing vocals, if somebody wants something, you just stand there and you think, well, we're asking you to step out of your comfort zone, so we need to do the same kind of thing. So really wherever the gaps are.
And are any of those instruments your primary instrument, Zara?
None of them, Rex.
So what's that all about then?
I don't know. I like a challenge, Rex.